Welcome to day 4 of Discover Your Superpower Challenge. So how you can go and tap into your passion and your power and turn it into profit. So I think yesterday we talked about marketing and how to market your power, right? Because we all have a superpower, but we got to most importantly know how to market that. Because if you don't market it correctly, then it's not really a superpower, right? So, and nobody knows you. Like I said, if nobody knows you, they can't cash flow you. And that's the biggest thing why most people don't get what they want, because nobody knows they exist. It's nothing like being the best kept secret, right? That's really not a cool thing. You really don't want to be the best kept secret. You want everybody to know your name, right? It's kind of like, was it Cheers? Back in the day, it's super old, like older than me, right? Like my folk used to watch it, talking about where everybody knows your name, right? So we're going to dive right in today. I got a lot of good stuff for you today. I'm going to give you some hacks. I got some hacks, and I'm going to give you a lot of good things. So first and foremost, I'm going to let you know where we're at so you know where we're going. We are going to be talking about, let me get my notes. So today is day 4 out of day 5 Discovery Superpower Challenge. And now we're going to consider like the reoccurring themes and habits, automations and systems to help you in your business and so you can turn your passion into power, right? And it's highly likely that your passion or your passion is already presented and is active in your everyday life, right? And what you got to do is you got to get into the conversations, you got to browse the internet, you got to read the books, you got to do everything you got to do to find out where is my money, where is my passion. And the moment you do that, you start tapping into those other things and find out where everything is at. Okay, so but like I said, you got to go everywhere. When I'm talking about you searching for your superpower, you might say, where do I search? Search everywhere. I'm talking about searching on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google. Look in your pocketbook. Look at your last 5 text messages. Look at your last 5 Facebook posts, Instagram posts, your LinkedIn posts. You gotta look everywhere because somebody is calling your name and you're slipping on your passion. You're slipping on your gifts, right? But most importantly, before we get into that, I want you to tap into your habits, right? We're gonna talk about that, right? So I want you guys to get your homework. Listen, you got a lot. I'm gonna give you some homework today, and today is the day that you're gonna take a lot. If you haven't been already taking notes, today is definitely the day, right? I mean, I really believe every day was a note-taking day, but I mean, if that was me, but it ain't me issue. And if you don't want to take notes, that's on you. But my desire for you is to be able to take this stuff and retain it and go apply it to your life, right? So go get your notebook, go get your pen and pad, and let's make it happen. So first and foremost, it is time for you to take a self-audit, right? And I mean self-audit. It's time for you to own up to your responsibilities, right? So first, before we get into that, little quick housekeeping rules again. I always like to do this right before we start. And the other thing is, if this is good stuff, if you're getting motivated, if you're getting inspired, you want to take some action, you got some takeaways, do me a favor and text your takeaway in the chat. So we'll, when our team will get there and we'll answer these questions, we would like to hear about your takeaways. And the other thing is, we also want to engage, right? We want you to engage with us. So during this presentation, I might ask you to, unmute and say yes, or, tap your chest, or whatever I might be asking. I don't know, but right. But whatever I ask you, I'm looking for a response as well, right? Because here's the thing. I know this stuff. I want you to know this stuff. I need you to get it. You know what I mean? So it's not you're going to do what I say do. You're going to do what you say do. And so my goal is to get you to say what you need to do so you can go do it. Is that good? Good. So, and by the way, and just one last thing. So I like to give, as I do these challenges, the goal for me is to get, if you can get through you go through the 5-day challenge with me and you get to, all 5 days and you haven't found value in these videos, what I do is I offer a money back guarantee, right? So if you've invested in yourself to get into these challenges and you haven't had gotten value, but here's the caveat. The caveat is I will happily, refund your investment, right? And in fact, I want to be here only to serve you. And if I haven't served you, I get it. That's cool. I don't want to waste your time, and I just want to add value to you. But here's the thing: the guarantee is if you play all out, all 5 days, and you got your camera on and you engaging and you doing takeaways in the chat, and you still didn't get anything in the 5 days, then yes, you shoot an email to our support team, and we'll make sure we'll gladly give you your investment back. Okay, so but my desire is for you to get something out of this every day that you can go apply into your life and your business right away. Okay, so that's our disclaimer, and I want to make sure I tell you that. Where to look? What are the first things we need to do? We need to do our self inventory check, right? So the self inventory check looks like this. You need to go looking into your habits. See, if you want to find out more about a person, you got to show me your habits. Show me your habits, I show you your pocketbook, right? Show me your friends, I show you your future. So the people that you surround yourself around consistently, that's going to reveal what you're doing on a regular basis. That's going to reveal who you are going to become, right? So what am I trying to tell you is that it's time to do a self-audit on yourself. Say, this is what I need you to do. I need you to type in the chat that I am taking responsibility for my financial life. The reason for that is, the reason why I want you to do that is because I need you to understand, I want you to understand that nobody can change your life except for you. So you find yourself looking, doing something good for somebody or something for yourself or adding value, there's always going to be some havoc, chaos. So anytime you're trying to get further in life, anytime you're trying to do something, you're always going to have some disruption because the enemy doesn't want to see you win. All right. But that means you're just on course. So don't let that distract you. Okay. So the self-audit, it looks like this. So the self-audit, it looks like this. You got to go look at your bank account. Go look at your bank account for the last 6 months and check off look at everything that you've been spending your money on, everything that you've been spending your time on, everything that you've been giving up, right? And you need to go through that. It's January, right? So this is the time you do that, right? And go look and see who's been getting more of your money than you, right? Who you've been giving your time to, who have you been giving your passion and your future to, right? And you do that audit and then you check off everything. I know you might be like, that's a lot of stuff to do. Like, I don't want to do all of that, right? You don't have the opportunity to not do that. You don't have time. You have to take the financial responsibility for your life. And if you want your life to get better, and your life will get better, but only if you take the action. I can't make your life better. I can only guide you. Your mom can make your life better. She can only guide you. Your mentor can make your life better. They can only guide you. You have to make a decision to make your life better. And until you say, I take responsibility for my financial abilities, I take responsibility for my financial freedom, until you do that, your life won't change. So therefore, go do that audit and look at the things. And then once you get that, you get your notebook and you start jotting down the things that takes away from your time. And I promise you're going to find out you spend your money on a lot of things that's not in alignment where you're trying to go. It's not in alignment in a direction that you're trying to take your life, right? And in the moment you start to see that, you're going to find money that you've been looking for and you didn't know you made. So you got to understand that this is necessary. This is imperative. You have to do this. The other thing you got to go unsubscribe from some stuff. Some of you right now are subscribed to some things that you don't even have no more. You don't even have time to watch Netflix, right? You cannot binge watch Netflix. My mentor told me, he said, if you're not making $25,000 a month, you shouldn't have the privilege to watch television. And some of you are watching so much TV and watching more ESPN and watching everybody else live their life while you're living a nightmare, right? So you can't look at the rest of your life and let it be the best of your life if you're not even focused on your goals. If you're not even focused on yours, you know more about a LeBron James, a Serena Williams, a Tiger Woods, and you know more about their life than you know about your own. How do you expect to get to your next level? How do you expect to get there? I promise you this, what got you here is not going to get you there. It is time for you to make a new investment, and that investment needs to be in you. Okay. So take the time to give yourself the freedom that you desire, to give yourself the money that you really want to make in your life so you can stop struggling. So aren't you tired of not being able to do the things you want to do? Aren't you tired of not being able to go places that you want to go? Aren't you tired of saying, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money? Aren't you tired of that? Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. Where I come from, it's from the struggle, man. And that's how we grew up. We grew up struggling, you know what I'm saying? And it was, and here's the funny thing is, it didn't matter how much money we made. Here's the funny thing about it. How my background goes is that we had grew up in the struggle. However, we never was honestly short of money. That's what's kind of funny about it. Like, even though we grew up poor, we really never was short of money. But you know what was really funny? We had poor money management systems. Our family just didn't know how to manage money properly, right? So the more money we made, the more money we spent. And it was like the more money we put in our pockets, the faster it went out, right? Have you ever experienced that? It's like, I don't have a making money problem, I have a keeping money problem. So I got to figure out, what are my habits? What is keeping me from making me make what is keeping me from the things that I desire, and I make good money. Some of you might make good money at your job. Some of you might make $100,000 a year. Some of you might make $50,000 a year. Some of you might make $200,000 a year. Some of you might make $1 million a year, and you're still broke. I know people that literally they're millionaires and still broke. Why do people win a lottery, right? And in 2 or 3 years they broke? I tell you why. Because they never learned to manage money. If you can't manage your money when you have a little bit of money, you can't manage your money when you have a lot of bit of money. If you can't manage small, you can't manage large. So you got to go to these habits right now. You got to go reintroduce some new habits, some new systems, and you got to automate those systems, right? So you don't forget. I'm gonna be honest with you. The crazy thing about it is, like, your mind is not meant to remember all of this. It's not meant to store all that stuff. You're supposed to get it out of your head, get it on the paper, and get it done, right? But see, what you're trying to do is, so many of you, you got it mixed up, and you're trying to figure out, I'm just keeping it in my mind and do it and remember everything. And that's not what your brain is supposed to do. Your brain is supposed to get the ideas. You're supposed to get the ideas and write them down and put them on paper and get them done, right? So if you put yourself in a system like that, you put your bills on a system like that, you put your goals in a system like that, you will get through a lot faster. Then your passion becomes your purpose, and your purpose becomes profitable, right? So many times you're not profitable in what you do because you're in the wrong system. Your habits are, show me your calendar, right? If it's not on a calendar, it's not real. Show me your calendar and I'll show you how much money you got in your bank account, right? That lets me know, because your habits is going to reveal you. So here's the thing. The other thing I want to share with you is, so once you go and subscribe, you need to go unsubscribe from Hulu and all of those channels, and all of those things that's taking your time. Because the moment you sit down and watch a Netflix movie, you're watching Ghost, you're watching Raising Kanan, you're watching the BMFs, you're watching, you watch all of this entertainment, and your money is flowing right out your pockets, right? So you got to get a handle on your money. You got to get a handle on your mind and start pouring in and spending money on people that's going to help you get there. You need to spend your money on coaches, mentors, books, things that move your mind, all right? Fitness. Like, you need things that energize you so you can maintain that golden ticket that you have, what you call life, so you can win it and you can cash in and get the things that you want, right? So in order to do that, you got to make sure your principles are together. So here's the funny thing about that. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go look at your credit card statements. I want you to go look at your bank account. I want you to go look at all your subscriptions and unsubscribe from anything that's not getting you to your next level. Go unsubscribe from everything, right? And I know you're like, man, but I really like watching all of the basketball games. I really like watching all of the reality shows. I really like all of that stuff. Listen, either you like that more than you like your finances. I mean, if you want to watch their lives more than you want to see your life change, yeah, all for you. Go do it. Do you, boo boo. Do you. All right. But for me, I'm changing my life. Listen, and this stuff right here, it can change your life. It'll change your life. So let's go find the money. The second thing is when you're trying to turn this around, right? You got to start putting the things on automation, right? So once you do that hack, once you do that self audit on your life, and you and your spouse, or you and your kids, all of you guys, you got to understand this. Get a handle on what's happening. Now, next, you want to put them on automation, right? What does automation looks like? It's doing it so it's consistently, so you don't have to remember, right? Isn't it awesome? Like, I am so grateful. I thank God every day that I don't have to be responsible every time I wake up to make sure that my blood is pumping, to make sure my heart is beating, to make sure my hands work. I'm so grateful that I got eyes, but I can't make them see, right? I am so grateful that I don't have to be responsible to jumpstart my lungs every day. I'm so happy that I don't have to jump start to make my legs work every day. Because if I had to be in charge of those things, I wouldn't be here right in front of y'all. I'm gonna keep it real because I'm not that responsible, right? So I'm glad that some things work for me automatically, right? And what you want to really be able to do is you want you want to put some bills on automatic. You want to be able to put your you want to be able to put your savings on automatic. You want to put your business on automatic. You want to put these things on autopilot because you got it on autopilot when you're taking care of your car note. You got it on autopilot probably when you're taking care of your house note. But are you got it on? Do you have things on autopilot when it comes to your savings account? When it comes to your investment portfolio? When it comes to the things that's going to pull you forward? Are you automating those things? Chances are, I'm going to say you're probably not, right? I know you're not because you know why? I remember when I wasn't, right? And I had to make sure that I needed those things because it's so easy to forget. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to forget. So why don't you make it support you? Now you got all this digital stuff. It's so easy. It's so easy with these apps now, right? They got an app for everything. They got an app for, they got an app for everything. So go automate your stuff, right? So here's the funny thing about it. So in business, right, and turn your passion, you need to understand this. It's all about how do you get paid, right? I call it the 4 Ps. This is how you get paid. It goes by the place, the price, the product, and the promotion. So I'll say that again: the place, the price, the product, and the production. Once you get those 4 Ps and you understand those 4 Ps and you put marketing behind it, oh, tell them to watch out, boo-boo, because you about to blow up, right? What does that mean? That means once you understand the placement of the things that you have, once you get everything in place, and then once you got all that stuff and you want to try to turn your power, you're trying to tap into your superpower, and now you know what that is, and you want to put it into a product like we talked about yesterday, like having something that works for you without using your hands, right? Right. And then the other thing is promotion, right? You want to do ads, you want to put things behind it, you need that momentum. So now all those things is going to start making you make money, consistently, right? Without you, and that's the goal, right? So it's without you, and that's the goal. So now I'm gonna transition because I want you to. Is you getting this stuff? Give me some fire emojis in the chat if you're getting this. All right. So here's some other things you want to automate. So right now being online, right? So here's the thing. Y'all get me all worked up, man. I'm getting excited talking to y'all, starting to sweat in my fam. So whatever, that's all good. So here's the funny thing is, um, once you understand and you get all those things out the way, right? Now the next step is you want to start doing more automations in the fashion of things that support you and online, right? So right now, if you own a brick and mortar, if you're doing your business in a brick and mortar, in order to advertise your business, you got to market, right? We talked about this yesterday. So you got to market. And I can't stress enough how important marketing is, right? Like I said, marketing and sales is the oxygen and the blood of your business, right? Now, you might not own a brick and mortar, that's okay, but you got to start treating your life like it's a business, all right? You got to start treating your life like it's a business. And once you operate in that fashion, and you start automating things, and that's what we're talking about. You got to adapt these habits. Listen, you might not know all of this stuff, but listen, this is what I'm gonna share with you. Adapt my belief until your belief kick in. Listen, this stuff works for me in my business. This stuff works for me, and I've been working and honing and working on these things for 12 years in business, right? So, and the more I do it, the better I've gotten, and the easier it's gotten. So, it doesn't matter how long you've been in business. It's not is when are you going to apply them? When are you going to put them in place? See, here's the thing. I learned that a lot of times people get the misconstruction of thinking that they know something because they learn about a thing, right? But just because you learned about something does not mean you know it, right? Now, the next phase of it is you might have learned about a thing and you think you know what it is, but if you haven't done it, you just know about it. You haven't learned it. You haven't mastered it. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is you need to master some stuff. If you want to go to the next level, if you want to take your life to the next level, if you want to take your business to the next level, you got to master some stuff. Okay. And what you got to master is not just master learning, you got to master applying it. You got to go apply the things that you learn. They say knowledge is power, but I say knowledge is applied power, right? It's not, well, knowledge is power until it's applied. You have to apply the power before it becomes power. Because if that was the case, if knowledge was power, then the librarians would be the smartest one in the world, right? Because they got all the knowledge. They got all of the knowledge, but they're not applying what they read. You see what I'm saying? So you might be in a room with the right people, but you're not applying what they're doing. You don't have the same, you're not doing the same things that they're doing. It's interesting to me that I could be talking to you guys right now, right? Wherever you're at. And the reason why you guys get to probably see, you get to see me at real time, and it's like I'm in your room, I'm in your home, is because we are on the same frequency. Okay. And you might say, what is frequency? Frequency is the same wavelength, right? We're on the same wave pattern. Meaning, in other words, if you were to drive down you were driving in your car, in your vehicle, and you're trying to catch the radio, you're tuning from station to station, right? And each station is a different tune, is a different type of music. You got Christian music, you got rap music, you got R&B, you got jazz, you got country, you got all of these different tunes, and then you turn to the next one and it's just static. Right? Just static, right? But what does that tell you? There's nothing there, right? There's no station there, there's just static. That's the frequency, right? But if you get back to the frequency where the hip hop is, right? Now you get to listen to that tune. Well, that's what this world is right now. That's why you're watching me right now, is because we are on the same frequency. That's why if you want to be, that's why it's important to be around the right people. That's why it's important to be in the right rooms with the masterminds, that people are sharing gifts and they're sharing ideas on how they made millions of dollars, or they're sharing ideas on how they start their business, because then you're on the same frequency as them. And all you have to do to get the same results as them is do the same things as them. Wow. Isn't that a game? What, man, that's so, when I first heard of that, right? Check this out. When I first heard of that, I said, wow. And then I spelled it backwards and I said it again. And I said it backwards, like, wow. I was like, okay. So all I got to do is get on the frequency of wealth. Get on the frequency of high business, right? So if I do the same things poor people do, obviously now I get the same thing poor people get. But if I do the same things rich people do, I can get the same thing rich people get. Wow, that made me think. Now that should make you think. I'm telling you, this stuff works for me. I've seen it work for others. I've helped it work for others. I've coached people, and it helped them in their business. Why wouldn't it work for you? You just haven't applied it yet. Maybe you don't know how to apply it. And that's okay, but you can learn it, right? But you can't learn it just by watching and reading about it. You got to go do it. You got to go implement it. You got to, implementation changes situations, right? So the moment you start to implement the thing, you can have the thing, all right? So and now listen, the next thing I want to talk to you about is content marketing, right? So if you want to get in front of the people, you gotta have content, right? So content is what makes and what moves the masses, right? Because it goes like this. You gotta figure out, how can I convey a conversation that creates compensation, right? Because your conversations is going to create the conversation that you desire, right? Your passion is connected to your voice box, right? Or I should say that backwards. Your pocketbook is connected to your voice box, your ability to speak, your ability to convey the message in this marketplace, right? The ability to market to the people that has your products, to the ability to market to the people that you have the solution for their problems, all right? Now, once you do that, it looks like this. You can write this down. You can write this down, because I'm gonna give you a couple of hacks, all right? I'm gonna give you a couple of social media hacks that you can leverage. All right, I'm gonna give you a couple of social media hacks that you can leverage. Content marketing. So you want to get some apps called canva.com, or app on your phone, Canva. You want Snapseed. You want to get a photo. It's called Photoshop. And with these apps, right? With these apps, you can start automating your content marketing. So you can convey your messages, right? You can take a message, I don't know, like I just said, conversation create compensation. You can take that word and put it on a post on Instagram by leveraging Canva, and you put it on there and make it a post and make it a reel, make it a slideshow, make it make it a quote, put it on top of your picture, and then people are going to start liking it and they're going to start commenting on it because, oh, that's a dope quote, right? And now you created engaging content, right? Now you're creating content that can move the masses. You're creating conversations, right, that create conversions. So, that's just one hack. And Snapseed, for example, like, you see it right now, we're in the social media world. So everything is online and everything is, what's the word I'm looking for? Everything is Photoshop. Let's just say that, right? Because think of it like this. If you go look at McDonald's, right? And you look at the billboard or the commercials on McDonald's and they got the Big Mac, right? And you be like, you see it on TV, and then you go like, oh man, that Big Mac look good. It look juicy, the cheese hanging over the side, got the tomatoes and stuff, and it look big, right? And then you go get it like, hey, this look like the TV show. This look like the commercial. Why? Why is that, right? You feel me? Am I the only one? Right? So why is that? It's because it's marketing, it's promotion. They have put themselves in a way to show you that this looks tasteful. So you got to figure out, how can I make my content so tasteful that they get that experience right then? You got to understand something. Social media, right, is so fast. It's so fast. It's Insta. Like Instagram it's instant, right? So people are scrolling on their phone, and they're just scrolling, and it's what, I think it's like 3 billion people on Instagram, right? So people just scrolling down on Instagram, looking for something to talk about, looking for something to be entertained by, right? And then it's there's Arthur Lyle. Let me check what he got going. But if I don't stop, what's going to make them stop? What's going to convey that message, right? To make them say, I need to see what he's doing. When they got 3-something billion people that they can choose from. Well, when I learn how to use some of these apps I'm sharing with you, you can create dope content, right, that move the masses, that stop people in their tracks, right? So, and the reason why I'm talking about that on this automations topic is because once you figure out how to do this, right, you can delegate it to your team. Once you create a system and a framework, you can hire your virtual assistant teams, or you can hire your little brothers or your sisters, or your cousins, or whatever. You can hire somebody else to help you manage that, right? So guess what? You can free up your time. See, the thing is the reason why you say you don't have enough time is because you don't know how to delegate, right? You don't know how to get the task off of you. You got to learn. Here's a writer downer, okay? Here's a writer downer. You ready? You write this down. Like, hope you listen to me. Write this down. Automate, delegate, or eliminate, right? Automate, delegate, or eliminate. That's going to help you free up the time. It's going to help you become the person you need to become. You got too much stuff on your plate. You only got 24 hours and you sleep in probably 6 to 8 of those, right? Here's the funny thing. If you sleep in 6 to 8 of those hours of the 24 and you work in 8 hours, you only got another eight hours left, right? Well, what are you doing with that time? You can't do everything. You need to hire help, right? You need help. So you got to figure out, how can I automate? How can I delegate? Or best yet, how can I eliminate this, right? So, and so you're a barber, your stylist, your service provider, you definitely need this stuff. You definitely need, because you don't have enough time. You're doing your service. You're spending so much time in your business, and you're not spending enough time on your business, right? And the sooner and the quicker you can make that shift, everything else gets better. So you want to get a couple of different booking apps, right? So to booking your appointments, that's probably number one, all right? You need to stop answering the phones, all right? That's not your job, right? You got to figure out somebody else. So listen, real quick, let me break it down like this first. So if you want high income, right? High income only follows high energy. So you got to get your energy up, right? And then if you got high income, you need high energy, right? And then after high energy, you need high producing productivities, right? So you cannot continue to do things that low level skills and expect a high income. It doesn't work that way. Just as simply as you can't expect to have a minimum wage work ethic and next to have these $1 million dreams and ideas. It just doesn't work that way. You got to elevate. It is time to elevate. You need to go to the next level. So it's time to elevate your thinking. You got to elevate your mind. You got to elevate your systems. You got to elevate your team. You got to elevate your ideas. You got to elevate your energy. You got to elevate your income. You got to elevate these things. The only way you're going to get to the next level is through elevation, right? You have to walk in there. You got to walk in that room. Because here's the thing, you might not be familiar with the elevation. You might not be familiar with that frequency. You might not be familiar with that, but that's okay. That doesn't mean that you don't need to be there, right? So you need to delegate. You need to delegate everything that takes time away from you, right? You need to delegate everything that's keeping you from your goal, right? What got you here where you're at right now will never get you to the next level, right? And each level, there's another devil. There's another devil that you got to conquer. You have to beat that with the stick. You got to every time, right? Every time you get to another board, it's going to be new challenges, right? And so you got to conquer those challenges. And then once you conquer those challenges, you outsource them. Listen, I used to play this game when I was a kid. It was called Kung Fu, right? Kung Fu, right? So it's right back when I was a kid. I'm kind of dating myself. I shouldn't say this, but so when I first got my Nintendo, right? I don't know why I'm telling this story. This is crazy. Anyway, when I first got my Nintendo, the first game I got was Mario Brothers and Kung Fu, right? And Kung Fu was probably the dopest game on the planet for me, right? And the reason why is because the whole, let me just give you a little backstory about the game. The whole object of the game is like, it was supposed to be like Bruce Lee, right? You know, I was a fan of Bruce Lee. I love Bruce Lee. So the character was, what's his name? I don't recall his name right now. Anyway, the guy is a fighting game. Okay, and the whole objection of the game is to get to the 5th level and save the princess, right? So the princess is being kidnapped by the big boss, right? So he has to go through every level and get to the final board. But at each level, he got like 60 seconds to beat the board. So he's walking through the level, and as he's going through the level, he got all these challenges, all these people trying to fight him in the front and the back. You can only go forward. And as he's going through it, he got a jump kick and all of this stuff, right? Finally, he gets to the end of that level, and you got to fight that boss of that level. And then if you win, you know, you walk up the steps, go to the next level, and then you go to the next boss. You go to different challenges, and each level gets harder. So the second level, they're throwing daggers and knives and stuff like that. You got to jump over them, and you got to dodge and duck them and all of that, and then you kick in all that stuff. And then you get to the end of the board, and you got to beat this boss. He's a little harder than the first boss, right? Beat him, you go to the next level, which is 3rd level, and it's more difficult. On and on until you get to the 5th level. Right now, you get to the 5th level, he has his princess kidnapped, wrapped and tied up, and you can see her and all that, but she's actually behind the big boss, right? So you got to actually beat him up, and he's the hardest one. He's like super duper hard. Then finally you beat him. You say to the princess, wow, you win the game, right? Cool. So you celebrate, you get the princess, and then guess what happens? The game continues, but you got to start all over at level 1. I was like, what? Why did I start over level 1? That's crazy. But level 1 is a little bit more difficult now. Now level 1 has daggers. Now level 1 has these snakes and have all these people coming at him. And when I realized that game, for me, I understand that's the game of life. Every level you go through, there's going to be a different challenge. There's going to be another boss. There's going to be another thing that I have to accomplish. I got to stop running from working hard. I got to stop running from challenges. I can win if I just stay in the game. I can win, but I gotta have a goal. His goal was to save the princess. What is your goal? What's going to keep you in a game when it gets hard? What's going to keep you in a game when you run out of time? What's going to keep you in a game when they're throwing daggers and knives and the snakes and all of the things that's in your life that's trying to keep you from your desires? What's going to keep you in the game? And that's how you got to learn how to have the kung fu. You got to kung fu your way through life, right? You got to understand that life is by design. And if you don't understand the blueprints, if you don't understand the laws of the universe, if you don't understand principles, if you're not applying the principles that move the masses, then you're going to lose this game. You're going to wake up and lose every day over and over again. It's kind of like waking up every day and your life is a game. And every day you're losing. Why? It's because you're not playing the right game. You're playing the wrong game. So I want to share with you. And I tell you that story because for me, like, I like to understand like life at the simplest terms, right? I love games, I love to have fun, but how can I learn from this? All right, so here are a couple quick hacks on how you can make you some money. So you can make some money on automations. You can get you a vending machine, right? Put a vending machine in your salon, put a vending machine in your barbershop. In fact, it don't even have to be yours. It don't even have to be yours. Go make some phone calls and ask them, hey, would you like to have a vending machine that actually service your customers a little bit better? It's a new machine. And here's the funny thing, you don't even have to buy it first. You don't even have to buy it first. That's what's so amazing. You just got to go find out who needs one. Hey, yes, so this is Lyle, and I'm actually trying to, I was just curious, I actually stopped by your salon or your business, and I noticed that, you can probably use a vending machine. And, because I know you really like to give and deliver to your customers, and have a newer machine that it actually takes credit cards. And guess what? You absolutely don't have to do anything. I'll get a service for you and make sure it's the right type of foods and candies that you like for your clients. You get to choose. And all I want to do is just be a service to you. Click. Oh, I love that. All right, great. What will you charge me? Nothing. I'll service it and you don't have to even worry about it. I just want to be a service to your clients. Why would not? Okay, boom, click. Now, guess what? You go order it, you go get the thing delivered to their business, and now you just print. Now you have the opportunity to print money in somebody else's business because they have your client, they have the clients, and you have the problem. You have the solution for their problem. It makes them a better business, right? Now you just got a strategic partnership with another business. Now what? Go do that 10 more times, right? Guess what? All you really need to do is what if you do that and make $1,000 a month, right? Go do it 10 more times. That's $10,000 a month, right? Here's another one. Look, you're a cash-based business. So yeah, got it. You're a salon or whatever. I noticed that a lot of people pay cash in your business. I actually have some ATM machines, and I was wondering, will it be of a service to put a vending machine or ATM machine in your business that will actually, help you, so your clients, so they don't have to go to the bank every time, and so on and so forth. And just let me know. I'll just love. You don't have to fill it. I'll make sure everything is taken care of, and there's always money in there, and so on and so forth. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that idea. All right, click. I'll get it there next week. Now you go call somebody, you go partner with somebody, get a vending machine in there, and guess what? That makes you $500 a month. Go do that 10 more times. That's $5,000 a month. This is so easy, right? So when you're in a service business and you're not making money, it's because you're not using your noodle. You're not thinking good enough. You're not thinking about problems, because the problems is what's going to pay you. You need to figure out, how can I solve more problems? And guess what? That's automation. You can do that one time, one day a week. You can fill that vending machine. You can fill that ATM machine and get paid over and over and over and over again. It doesn't require your time. But you're too busy standing behind a chair. You're too busy cutting the grass. You're too busy doing all these things. And you're not trying to find ways to automate your business. You're not trying to find ways that you can make more money faster. That's a real question. How can I make more money faster? All right, so y'all got any questions on automation? Matter of fact, don't even hold your questions. Hold your questions. Hold your questions to the end. So, because I want to make sure I get all of this done for we are on time. So the next thing is systems, right? Systems. So before we jump into systems, I want to share you this acronym that I stumbled across. Right? So systems, right? Let's see. All right, system. All right, can you see that? Can you see that? All right, good. So systems, I like to think of systems as an acronym. Now, systems is to save you. That's why I'm tripping. Didn't spell it wrong. I was tripping. Forgive me, guys. Sometimes I can't read my own handwriting, so I'm kind of tripping. I'm a writer. I'm a writer, right? Writing books and stuff. I can't read my own handwriting. Don't ask me. Don't talk about me. Well, listen, systems, right? Systems. Save yourself time, energy, and money. Save yourself time, energy, and money. You need a system, right? So now we talked about the habits, right? We talked about the habits that you need. Then we talked about automations, right? Now, and I'm gonna give you some more hacks on the automation in just a moment. I didn't want to give you all of them yet because I want to teach you the system stuff first. So we talked about habits, automations, and now systems. You need systems in your business. See, the reason why most people get stuck at a level because they don't have the proper systems. They're trying to do all of the work themselves, right? And remember, we talked about automation is how you put things in place, right? But how can you put things in place if you don't have a system, right? So you got to get a system to be able to do these things, right? So what that looks like is, so I mean, I got what kind of systems you might say? You need all kinds of systems. You need management systems. You need money systems. You need saving systems. You need investment systems. You need POS systems for your business. You need messaging systems. You need task systems, social media systems, learning systems, inventory systems, accounting systems, booking systems. You need systems for your courses, website systems. Like, I mean, marketing systems. You need virtual assistant systems. Like, you need systems for everything you do, right? Because if you have systems, what I say to do, save yourself time, energy, and money. But yeah, save yourself time, energy, and money, right? So now I'm just give you a couple of hacks. Is that cool? Can I give you a couple of hacks? Can I give you a couple of hacks? Let me drop me some heat in the chat if you want me to give you some hacks. Because I ain't gonna give you no hacks if you don't need no hacks. Because you might already have these hacks, right? You might not need my hacks. So look, a lot of people are using virtual assistants, right? Which is dope. I love virtual assistants. I got virtual assistants. I got a team. I love them. They save me so much time and energy, and we got a great relationship. Listen, but and it took me time, right? It took me time to figure this out. You got to have systems for them too, right? So they don't know your business like you know your business. You got to know your business. So you got to have set up a system so they can start managing it better, right? And it always changes. And as it's always changing, you got to always be updating it. So it can work for you and not against you, right? So you got a couple of different hacks that you can have with your virtual assistants is Slack.com, Trello.com, Monday.com. Dope platforms, right? You can leverage those resources to manage your systems, right? That way you don't have to be sending emails all the time. You can have it in a system to where, like, even if you need to fire somebody, hire somebody again, you got a system, right? It's even outside of your virtual assistants, even with your real assistants, even like your employees, like you can still leverage these same Slack, Trello, and Monday.com. Whoever's coming in your business, they need to know what to do, right? Because there was a time in my business where every time I hired somebody, I had to go through the whole process all over again. And I never had it written down. So it felt like I was always freelancing. So I'm like, then I find out I was hiring the wrong people because I was asking the wrong questions. And I'm like, dang, I should have asked that one. Now, if I'd have asked that during the interview, I probably wouldn't have hired them, right? But I didn't know that because I didn't have it in my system. So now everything is systemized. And if I follow that system, I can expect to get the same result every time, right? Most times, put it like that. Some fall through the cracks. The other thing is, where do you get virtual assistants? You got Fiverr.com, you got Upwork.com, you got I can't remember this other one right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. But those are two right off the rip that are very good. They're very grateful to me, very helpful to me. I'm very grateful to them. All right, so you need social media systems. Yeah, I said it. Listen, look, I know you probably follow him up with Gary Vee, and Gary Vee says you need to be omnipresent. You got to be everywhere, right? You got to be on Instagram. You got to post 7 times on. You got to post 7 stories on Instagram. You got to post 3 feeds on your post. You got to do a reel every day. You got to do IGTV. You got to do a YouTube. You got to post on LinkedIn. You got to do a blog on Facebook. What else? You got to have a blog. Like, I get it. You got to be on Clubhouse. You got to be tweeting. You know what I mean? So you got to be all of these places, and you still got to be doing your emails, and you still got to do your work, and you still got to run your business, right? But man, how do you do all of that? Like, how do I maintain that? Like, I'm only one person. Right? I get it. And you might not want to do all those, but if you want to do all those, you got to do them. You want to build a brand, you got to build a brand. So building a brand in today's world, you got to be social, right? You just got to happen. It has to work. You just got to figure it out. But this is the hack that many don't tell you. You can create one video, one time, and then you can get it automated on all of the platforms. How? You want me to tell you how, don't you? I'll give you this hack. I'm going to give you this hack. I'm going to just give you this hack because I love you guys, all right? I'm gonna give you this hack. You create one video, you get a dope topic, you create one video, and you record it, right? And once you record that video, this is what you're gonna do. You ready for this? All right, so look, okay, good. So look, this is what you do. You create one video, one time, right? Create one video one time, and then you take that video and strip the audio. Okay, strip the audio, and now the video you can go. The video goes on YouTube. You strip the audio, right? The audio can go on the podcast, right? Then you take that same video and you strip the text, right? You put it in an app like or a site like rev.com and it give you the transcript, right? So guess what? Now you got all of the words you just said in that video. Shh, don't tell nobody this stuff, right? So now you got all of the transcripts that's been transcribed. So guess what? You take that and then you can go put the words on LinkedIn. You can put on your blog, right? What? I got even more of a hack. You can take that same content, you go put it in your WhatsApp app, and then you start adding like your emojis and stuff like that, and making it cool and flashy, and then that can become an Instagram post, and then it become your Facebook post, and it has emotion in it because you use the emojis, right? Then here's the other thing: you can chop it up. You can do a little 15 seconds reels. What? You can chop it up. You can download an app called InShot, chop it up, and make reels out of it. You can chop it up and make Instagram stories out of it. You can use another app called what's it called? Cut app, and you can just put that whole video in Cut app, and it'll splice it for you, 15 seconds for stories. What? So listen. I'm trying to show you how you can automate your business with systems and work faster. Get the results that, and stop watching everybody else's dreams and turn your dreams into plans and turn your cans into cans, because you just got to know the way. And you got to learn from somebody that's already did it, right? You got to learn from somebody that's already failed at it. You got to learn from somebody that's not afraid to tell you that I failed at some stuff, right? But the reason why I'm successful is because I failed so many times, right? And you got to stop being afraid of failure, right? Why? Because failure and success is two sides of the same coin. There is no success without failure, and there is no failure without success. So listen, guys, if you was in here and you filled out the application yesterday, I dropped the application for our mentorship. But here's the thing, like I said, it costs you nothing to apply. So if you don't apply, I mean, congratulations, you totally disqualified yourself, right? But if you went on in there and filled out the application, just see if you apply. Could you drop the application for me in the chat? Okay, great, thank you. So all you got to do is just apply and just see if we can work together. Because here's the thing: if you want your life to get better this year, if you want to be new in 22, like, you got to give us some people that's going to help you get there. They really genuinely want to see you grow, right? Look, I've been teaching and coaching for 13 years. Actually, it's longer than that, for 16 years. I've been coaching and mentoring people online and offline. I've been behind the scenes. Guess what? I'm coming from behind the curtain, right? I've helped so many people turn their businesses around. I helped so many people write their books, write their stories, open their salons, open their barbershops, open their businesses, do so many businesses behind the scenes. I'm like the John Legend behind a lot of legends, right? And that's okay, because I just want to see people win. That's my desire. So now I want to see you win. But you got to make the investment in yourself. Listen, I'm going to keep it real with you. Look, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not cheap, right? What I do at a premium price. Why? Because I understand one thing. I understand there's one principle, that your price is a part of your brand, right? So the reason why I charge premium prices is because I want premium people. Why? Because I deliver premium results. Why? Because I charge a premium price. So the reason why I do that is because I feel I am the best. I'm the best at what I do. And you should feel like you're the best at what you do. Because here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. Like, I was watching the movie John Q, and I'm sure you probably all seen it, right? And in that movie John Q, if you haven't seen it, it's Denzel Washington. And then I'm gonna finish this up. Wait, you know what? I'm not gonna tell you that story. I'll tell you that story tomorrow. And what I do is I just want to give you a couple more social hacks, and then we're gonna get off here. Because is it okay if I get like 3 more minutes? Because I don't want to go over your time. Let me know if you give me 3 more minutes so I can get these last couple of hacks. Is that good? Let me know. If not, it's cool. I'll just tell you tomorrow. All right, good. So I just want to give you a couple more of these hacks real quick for these systems. So you got you need sales systems. So like a lot of people are selling on social media. So how can you sell on your social media? You need social media selling systems. You want to do your polls in your Facebook groups, right? And you might I don't have enough time to go into what that looks like, but if you are If you're lucky and you get into the mentorship, you'll get all that stuff. Okay. You got to have tax systems. You got to have task systems. You got to have your social media system to automate those, like Hootsuite, Later.com, Planoly. And I think Facebook just opened up one where they can do it themselves and in-house. You got to have your POS system for your business. Like if you're a service-based business, you might use Square, PayPal, or Samcart, or even like having that payment system like Stripe, right, or Wave. You got to have an inventory system that how's your inventory. You might use Shopify, right? You got to have an accounting system. You got to have whether it's QuickBooks, FreshBooks, Wave. What's another one? Mint.com. Like these are just names, but these are apps and programs that you can allow yourself to get your result faster. You got to have a course system. What course platform are you going to have your online things on? Are you going to have your courses on? Are you an online course creator? You can use Kajabi. You can use Samcart. You can use ClickFunnels. I like ClickFunnels. You use Squarespace. You can use WordPress. You can make your own. You can use Teachable, Thinkific. It's so many of them, but you just got to choose one, right? But once you choose one that you're going to stick to, and then you can actually learn how to leverage it in a way that it supports your business. And a lot of other things that you want to add, and I'll tell you about this tomorrow. I'll talk about Google My Business and Yelp and how you can leverage that in your business. And the most important thing before anything else, you got to have a learning system. Turn the radio off of your car, turn not the radio, but turn whatever music off of your car and turn on an audiobook, turn on a podcast. Listen to something to encourage your mind. Listen to something that helps you get better faster. So that's that for that. Here's your action steps. This is what I want you to do. Here's your homework. So go tap into what your reoccurring bank account's looking like. Remember, like I said, go back the last 6 months and do your audit on your business. Do your audit on your bank account, your credit card, your subscriptions, unsubscribe from all of the stuff that's not allowing you to grow in your business. Your credit cards, do all that and find the hacks, find where you're missing the money. Read about that, read it, document it, write it all down, find out what you're spending your money on, find out where you're spending your time. Remember, your calendar reveals your priorities. And the other thing is upgrade your budget. What's your budget? What are you looking to do? What can you invest in? How can you invest in a team, a virtual assistant? How can you invest in automating your business? You're going to find the money once you do your self audit on your accounts. So you should be looking into that. And last but not least, here's your homework for your books, right? Make sure you go into the chat and Facebook group and drop a comment or do a video. You can do a video of what your takeaway was. If you had a takeaway from today or any other days that we had, and or you can type it. That's cool too. But here's your books to read. Your Bible. I want you to get in the Bible. I always recommend the Bible. It's always my first book I always recommend. But this today, Rich Dad Poor Dad is going to work on your financial literacy mindset, the millionaire mind. See, in order to even think about becoming a millionaire, even thinking about becoming a thousandaire, you got to have the mindset of that person, right? And the E-Myth. It's an awesome book on systems, right? What we're talking about today. You have to put your business, your brand in a system. Okay. So that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining with me on our Friday challenge. We got day 5 tomorrow, and we're going to put all this together and make it happen. So, hey, look, be blessed. See you at the top, guys. And peace and love. And I'll see you there.